Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode, I'm just going to go give you a quick overview of the crypto markets. So whatever I say in this video should not be considered financial advice, and I'd advise you to do your own research before you buy any cryptocurrency. Okay, so just before we dive in, the sentiment on Twitter is probably one of the worst I've ever seen it when it comes for altcoins. A lot of people are screaming that the bull run is over, and a lot of large traders have capitulated and are just giving up. So in this video, I'm going to give you my opinion of where we are in the crypto cycle. Okay, so let's dive in. So let's just start off with Bitcoin. So overall, Bitcoin is actually holding up considerably well compared to the altcoins. So Bitcoin topped out here at 109,000 back on the 20th of January. Now, in my opinion, it's pretty much in the middle of this range here. So if I just draw this box here, so we just go from here. Yeah, so Bitcoin is now forming a range. So let's say the lower of the range would be around 90K. And we'll say the top of the range then is 109K. So Bitcoin can shop sideways in this range for a long period of time. As we've seen it back in the summer, Bitcoin was in a range for about 7 to 8 months before it broke out. Now, we did see a huge sell-off in the crypto market over the past 2 weeks. So if you're a follower of this channel, you know I like to use the moon phase indicator, indicating we usually see a pump when it's a full moon, and then we usually get a dump then when it's a new moon. So back on the 29th of January, we did see a new moon come into play, and that was coincide with this sell-off in the market. Now, Ethereum and the altcoins were destroyed in this sell-off, and it managed to liquidate many traders. It was the highest liquidation level ever recorded in crypto history. And a lot of the altcoin traders are feeling a lot of pain right now. But overall, I do believe that the bull run is still intact, and we may see Bitcoin chop sideways for another few weeks. I know that there's a lot of buying pressure when it comes down to this 90K level. So we may see Bitcoin come back down into this demand zone again before catching a bid to go to the upside. So if you're trading this chart, we just may see Bitcoin oscillate from the lows to the high of this range. So this coming week, we may see Bitcoin come back, chop back into this demand zone before moving its way back to the upside again. So a lot of traders, what they do in this scenario would be buying spot Bitcoin or even putting on a bit of leverage. Once it gets into this demand zone here about 90K, selling some, taking some profit at the mid-range, and then selling all at the highs here at 109,000. So let's just move on to the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, the Bitcoin dominance has been quite frustrating for many traders. So usually the Bitcoin dominance indicates when we get into an alt season. So in the past, in the previous two bull markets, you see once the Bitcoin dominance tops out and it retraces, that's when alts outperform Bitcoin. So let's just zoom into the Bitcoin dominance. So as you can see here, back on the 20th of November, we did see the Bitcoin dominance spike to just nearly 62%. And then it had a big rapid retrace of over 11%. And everyone was calling this was the beginning of alt season. So you'd have a high, a low, and then a lower high, and then everyone was expecting then to put in a lower low to form a new downtrend. But lo and behold, after this liquidation of last weekend, we did see a spike in the Bitcoin dominance. And it went as far as just over 64%. Now, if we zoom back out of this Bitcoin dominance, we can see this trend line that I put in here. The Bitcoin dominance may actually continue higher. The Bitcoin dominance may go as high as 70%. So just to be cognizant as we move forward into Q1 of 2025. So Ethereum. So the Ethereum chart is absolutely disgusting. And that was the main reason for the sell-off, as we did see Ethereum wick down to as low as $2,168 per coin. This was absolutely devastating for the altcoin traders. And it pretty much brought down the whole altcoin market with it. So you could argue that Ethereum just came down to test this trend line. Is the worst over for Ethereum? We will have to wait and see. Now, I have some data here to suggest that the worst is over for Ethereum. So let's just go through it here. So here we have the Ethereum ETF inflows. Now, on the 4th of February, we did see the biggest inflow for the spot Ethereum ETF. Now, do smart money know something? And we haven't actually seen any major outflow since the 27th of January. We did get a little bit of an outflow on the 29th, which was only 4.7 million. But pretty much all of February has been all inflows. I also seen this that Ethereum ETF issuers expect staking approval soon, says Ethereum co-founder. Ethereum ETF issuers are optimistic that staked Ethereum ETFs will soon receive regulatory approval, according to the Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin. So if this did occur, then obviously Ethereum would catch a huge bid by Wall Street. So this would be huge for Ethereum, allowing the holders of the spot ETH ETF to allow them to receive yield. I also seen that the Trump's family project, World Liberty Financial, just scooped up a whopping 180 million in crypto over the past 4 days. Most of that cash, 109 million to be exact, went straight into Ethereum. Now, do they know something that we don't? Alongside this, Ethereum speculators have built the largest ETH short position in history. So will we see a short squeeze? So moving on to the DXY. DXY has been on a serious run over the past few months. Now, usually if we want to see risk assets to do well, we would like to see the dollar to become weaker. So if I just coincide the Bitcoin price. So here I have the Bitcoin price in white overlay on the DXY, on the US dollar. And as you see in the previous bull market, when the dollar topped out and was in a downtrend, that's when you've seen the euphoric, explosive move in Bitcoin. So in essence, as the dollar drops, we will see a huge spike in risk assets like crypto. Also, Trump has stated that he wants a weaker dollar, therefore that it'll be more beneficial to do trade with other countries. So I do suspect that we will see the dollar crash in the coming months. Also seeing this tweet here from Raoul Pal. The strong dollar plus tariffs are the stick and a weaker dollar plus lower rates are the carrot. He did repost this tweet from Nick Tamaros. 1 year ago, almost to the day, Scott Bessent wrote to his investors, tariffs are inflationary and would strengthen the dollar. Hardly a good starting point for the US industrial renaissance. The tariff gun will always be loaded and on the table, but rarely discharged. So basically from this tweet, if you read between the lines, Trump is basically just using the tariffs as a negotiation tactic. And we did see this in the previous week where he threatened 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada. And shortly after that, we've seen both countries send thousands of troops to the border. And once that happened, he put a pause on the tariffs for a month. So in my opinion, once Trump gets what he wants, he will drop the tariffs. So a lot of people on the timeline are saying that there won't be any all season. Now, I did watch a very good video from Benjamin Cowan there yesterday. I'd advise you all to check it out. So it's here, why has all season not happened yet? Now, the TLDR of this video is because of quantitative tightening. So the Federal Reserve is continuing its quantitative tightening cycle. And as we've seen in previous cycles, once QT stops, that's when you see more money move into risk on assets like cryptocurrency. So that begs the question, when will we see the QT end? So this is a great post here from Joseph Brown. So on January 9th, he posted a video that the Fed would end QT this year. In a recent report, they said they would end when the bank reserves get to where they want. In the last few years, they have treated reverse repo balances as reserves. The reverse repo facility is empty now, which means that the reserves are almost at a low as they want to allow them to go. This means very soon the Fed will be ending QT. Now, this is great news for our altcoin bags. I will leave a link in the video description linking to this tweet, and he goes into greater detail explaining how the reverse repo works. Also seen this tweet here from Marty Party, and there is a lot of rumors speculating that BlackRock will apply for a Solana ETF. And it's going to happen a lot sooner than people think. Now, a lot of people ask him for sources. Marty Party is probably not the best person to show sources, so it's basically just a rumor. But I do remember everyone in the market was offside when they announced the Ethereum ETF. So I would not be surprised if this happens again. So you have to keep in mind, David Sachs, who is the crypto czar, who was appointed by Donald Trump, he was one of the earliest investors in Solana. So in my opinion, this is definitely going to happen. You can only imagine how much capital would enter the crypto space if there was a Solana ETF. Now, unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, once their ETFs were launched, they had a lot of sell pressure due to Grayscale. So Grayscale had a Bitcoin and Ethereum trust, and they converted that trust, both those trusts, to an ETF. But they had very high fees. So that's what caused a lot of sell pressure. A lot of people were selling out of the Grayscale Bitcoin and Ethereum trust, which actually reflected on very, very bad price action. Now, in the case of a Solana ETF, Grayscale doesn't have a Solana trust, so therefore there wouldn't be as bad sell pressure. And you have to understand, Solana is the leading L1 chain in the space. I think it conducts over 70% of all the transactions among all L1 chains. So therefore, at Solana's price, it is very much undervalued. And if this does happen, I could easily see a $1,000 Solana. So this would definitely bring down the Bitcoin dominance, and then we would be in a huge all season, in my opinion. So I did see this tweet here from Doug Finney. So if I had to guess where we are price-wise in the cycle, so I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this Wall Street cheat sheet, and a lot of people are speculating where we are in the cycle. So he has called it that Bitcoin is either in the optimism or belief stage. So it definitely has another leg, maybe two, but all coins are here down in depression. Now, a lot of people are telling you to get out of your altcoins, get into Bitcoin. But in my opinion, this is probably the worst time to be selling altcoins. And if you're feeling pain right now, just remember the next time you're up on your alts to take profits. So if we look at the others chart, so this is the total crypto market cap excluding the top 10 altcoins. As you can see, last weekend we did see a huge flush in the others chart. Now you could make the argument again that it just came down to touch this trend line, and in my opinion, the trend is still intact, and I do suspect that the worst is over for the altcoins. So moving on here, when it comes to altcoins, AI is definitely receiving the most mindshare. So its mindshare is basically at 70%, and second is meme coins. So meme coins is just coming in roughly about 6%. Now, in my opinion, I expect that this trend will continue into 2025, that the top altcoins will be AI followed by meme coins, especially when we have Donald Trump himself launch a meme coin there about 2 weeks ago. Now, when that did happen, we did see a lot of liquidity get sucked out of other alts and to pump up his meme coin, which was actually quite devastating. Okay, so moving on here, usually in previous bull markets, we see this money flow chart. So this was the old money flow chart where first Bitcoin would pump, then Ethereum would pump, then the money would flow into large caps, and then all season, all the mid caps and low caps would just go parabolic. So this is the new money flow chart. So it just skips Ethereum. So it's basically Bitcoin, Solana into Doge, and then Doge into large caps and memes, and then you'd have a full meme season. Now, I'm not ruling out Ethereum, especially if the ETF gets updated with that allows staking. I'm sure Ethereum do well in this bull run. So I did see this tweet here from Miles Deutsche. In January, we saw an anomaly large 15 billion of altcoin unlocks, which contributed to the sell pressure. In February, we have 3.1 billion. So we have a lot less unlocks coming in February, which is obviously unlocks are not good. And that's the unfortunate thing about utility altcoins. They do have a lot of vesting schedules and big venture VCs backing the coin that do need to take profits. So it does cause a lot of sell pressure on utility altcoins. So that's why up until this point, we have seen meme coins to outperform. So this altcoin season obviously won't be very similar to previous cycles. And that is basically due to pump.fun. So here we have a post from Connor. So there are 36.4 million crypto tokens today. We are on pace to have 100 million tokens by the end of 2025. To put in perspective, the 2017 to 2018 all season had only 3,000 tokens. And the 2013-2014 cycle only had 500 tokens. So yes, that is a huge problem in the altcoin space. It's becoming harder and harder to pick the right coins. Now, in my opinion, I know he's saying here there's over 26 million coins, and there probably will be over 100 million as we move into the end of 2025. But most of the liquidity is only in the top 5,000 altcoins. A lot of the altcoins that are, they just die out and they just don't have any more liquidity in the coins. So in my opinion, cream will always flow to the top, and it's your job to find which altcoins will outperform. I do like this tweet here from Murad. So if it's not a slow cook, it's a scam. So obviously you can see here from this diagram, he has fleeting trends and then real cults. So if it's not a slow cook, it's a scam. So usually with any altcoin, especially if it's a fair launch where it starts off at a very, very low market cap, you have a quick initial pump after launch fueled by insiders and or temporary viral trends. Then the insiders dumping on retail for a huge and quick profit. And then you obviously see that like everyone calls it a scam because it just completely sells off and nukes the chart. So then you have months of community building, distributing supply into the hands of hardcore believers. And then you see it reach then organic escape velocity. So this is how you identify real cults, especially if it passes the previous all-time high, then these are usually very, very good indications for an altcoin. So there you have it, folks. That is your quick update on the markets. I still remain very, very bullish as we move into 2025, as we still have a lot of tailwinds coming our way. So if you got value out of this one, please go down, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.